Hello everyone, this is Ben from the Academy of Gaming, Film and Animation. I'm just doing a quick edit today just to finish off this sword tutorial because I realized that episode 6 is not there, and just so we can finish the UV unwrapping of this and then start looking at how we export it out as an FBX and then import it into Unreal Engine. Now if you want to skip ahead right to the actual sort of exporting, you should have this sword file FBX in there. If you don't, I'll upload that onto Daymap, but you can just sort of follow that tutorial from taking this FBX here. But I do want to finish this off here because so far we've looked at planar, UV unwrap. We also want to look at planar and cylinder. Now there are other UV wrapping techniques. This tutorial series here that is also on our NASC AGFA channel, Intro to UV Unwrapping, is a whole playlist that goes through planar, planar unfold, cylindrical wrap, planar cut and sew, and marking seams and unfolding to unwrap all manner of different UVs. But when we're first starting, we really only need to work with planar and potentially some cylindrical and unfold. But you can get away most of the time with swords just using exactly what you did here before for this planar with the rest of the sword, because swords are pretty flat as they are. So even if you do get some stretching here on these sort of faces, it's not going to matter too much. But I will just go through how to go cylindrical just so you can see that technique and use it for both the handle and for the edges here. And we'll explain why we need to use it in the first place. So, this is the sort of finished sort of result that we're going for here. But how do we get these side edges and for the ones for the handle? So just to sort of give a demonstration, I'm going to take this one here and just put cylindrical, something messy, something silly there and everything, and we'll just go from it from the start. So you already know planar. You can just simply easily go here and select this and go UV, planar, and then we just pick the axis, which in this case is the y-axis because that's the up axis, that's the place we're viewing it from, and we'll just go apply. And if we get that, and I'm just going to switch it to grid, you can see that's UV unwrapped that quite well. However, if we were to apply that to the whole surface or the whole mesh, we would get some stretching on the side here. And the reason for that is because these faces, as far as this is concerned, are just a simple straight line. They can't be seen by the planar UV unwrap. Because a planar UV unwrap essentially is only looking at it from one axis, so we can't look at it from multiple axes. So what we can do though is select these faces, and I've got a few extra divots in here from more advanced modeling. Oh wait, no, that's just texture, sorry. What we can do here is we could do a planar and then just simply put it up here. And if that's what you want to do, because that's what you're comfortable with, then by all means do it. We teach you the fundamental skills here so that even if the more fancier skills don't work, or if you change software and use a different one, as long as you know how to do planar or project from view, you're pretty much safe and you can do it all. It just takes a little bit more time. So you could do that and then move that up here, and then with the other side there, move it there. However, if you wanted a perfectly wrapped, that is, it goes all the way around and we can't see the seams, what you can do is go here to UV and go cylindrical. And as you can see, what it does is it creates this sort of cylinder around our mesh, and that allows us to sort of see these. Now again, the picture doesn't do it justice. So you can see it has UV unwrapped. Now you won't be looking at this and saying, well, there's still rectangles. Like, we don't want that. We want squares. That's true, you do. However, first we've got to unfold this because this is just kind of taken it as a perfect circle, and the mesh itself is not a perfect circle or cylinder. So I'm just going to switch both of these off for now. And I'm going to go here to modify, and with that shell selected, I'm going to select here unfold. You can also press Control U. Now this is particular to Maya, so if you're using Blender or something else, you may not have this tool necessarily, but basically what it does is it just takes all of the faces and applies the same texture density to them. It does it by kind of ironing it all out and everything. Now you'll still notice two things. First of all, these squares are not the same squares as these, and they're also kind of on an angle, and that's because this is, UV unwrapped it as best it can, but it's kind of got it on an angle there. So to fix that, we're going to go here, modify, and we're going to go orient shells. This will snap it to the nearest axis to try and get it as flat as possible. But as you can see, again, these are not the same as these. So a quick way of changing that, which is again exclusive to Maya, but it's a nice advanced tool. So you can take this, go over here to UV Toolkit. If you don't have that, I believe you can sort of get that open on these ones or open up there, or Windows I think is there, but in either case it should come up automatically with that. You go down here to Transform, and to go down here to where it shows Texel Density. So if you think of like pixels per unit sort of thing, that's what it's doing here. So we can simply get that and then grab this and go set. And this shrinks it down to roughly the size it should be here and everything. So that gives us that sort of straight sort of like flow edging from there and everything. It's like there's a bit of like disjointness here, but you'd normally see that if you're cutting metal into a sword. So that's that. So that's that UV wrapping technique. Now, unfortunately, to save space on this, we can't have it go across the whole thing like that because we want to keep it in this square. So I am going to split this so that we can fit it on there. And I'm going to go back to our image here, switch off the texture density, and just think about, okay, where can we cut it to sort of make it fit on these two maps here. So I'm just going to cut it down the middle here, and we simply go up here to cut, or Shift X, and that now means that this is all here. You've got to make sure you're in edge mode and make sure you only have that one edge selected. If you have the whole object selected, they'll all go white like that. Just Control Z to undo that if that happens. So we're then just going to pull it down here, and you can see here as well that, okay, so two things. First of all, this needs to be shrunk down, so we could probably shrink these at the same time to keep the texture density, or we can just set it afterwards. But also you've noticed that even though this was done as one whole shape, because we did this, it's now separated these two into two separate shapes, which is great. So we're going to go here. We're always going to rotate them. We can do it by eye, or we can just simply rotate and rotate. You can change that to 180 degrees to do that in one movement if you want. But yeah, basically we are just moving those to there and then shrinking these down to here to fit. And if you're really lucky, you can check the textual density again and do that. But that's more for if you're making your own UV. We're trying to fit it to a already predetermined UV. So we don't really need to worry about getting the texture density. It's just to make sure that when you export this out to Photoshop or Krita or something else and start coloring it, that your texture density is the same and you don't end up with super high res texture in one area and then really low res in another, unless that's what you want. So yeah, that's how we use the cylinder unwrap for this. So an easier one is just this handle here. So we're gonna just do that. That one we can I'll just screw it up again so that we can start from the start again. So this is just a weird mesh and everything. We're going to simply just select it all, and this is going to be a little bit trickier because we go cylindrical, but that doesn't quite work. And the reason it doesn't quite work is because it's viewing it from a vertical when in fact this is a horizontal. So we need to rotate this. So with it still selected, and I'm just going to minimize our UV editor here, we can go over here to this side and see here how it says Polynder Cylinder Project 3. It's because I've done this a few times, but yours should say Project 1. Here, under Rotate X, we can change this to 90. And the reason for that is it's just, if we look at this, that's a kebab. It's sort of think of a kebab stick sort of sticking in there. Where do you rotate it? Well, we want to rotate it on this X-axis here. So we're just going to go here, 90, and it's going to come up really duplicated because obviously it's still trying to wrap it to this, so we haven't scaled it just yet, but let's do that now. So oops, in here, select this shell, as you can see, quite large. If we go here to modify and unfold, that will get us the shape, but we still got to scale this down quite significantly. Just to do that trick that we did there before, I could check this. I don't know if it'll work on a separate one, but we'll find out. And then come over here to this and go set. And it just did a very small sort of duplication there. We're probably not going to be able to keep that with this. We're going to, in fact, scale that in and then move that up there. So yeah, like I said, this UV was made for a much lower poly version of this sword. You've probably done a higher poly version of this sword, in which case you might have to just adjust the UVs just slightly. But it's really just about teaching you the principle of UVs rather than expecting you to be a master at UVs. So that's how you use Cylinder Project for each of these. For this one down here, you could get away with using spherical, but my recommendation would be with this UV map anyway, because we've only got this part here, is actually just planar on this top. Make sure it's set to the right axis, which in this case is the y-axis. That gets us this. We can then just rotate that twice and down And then what we're going to do is you can just scale that up if you wish and into there. As I said before, it's not quite the same because it's a different UV. I get ahead of myself sometimes when I start modeling over old UV models and everything. But there is one important thing that I'm going to do here, and that's the same as what we did there before. I'm going to double click on this edge that goes all the way around and then go cut. And then that should give us now two separate versions of this. And one of these, we click over here, it's going to be red. You're just going to click on that one, modify, and flip, and then just put it back over the other one, or just keep it there, or just anywhere on this really. So basically that just stops it from being flipped, which is something that, we talk about this one here as well. We can't flip that upwards and downwards, but we can flip it horizontally. So just doing that basically just make sure that all the normals are pointing outwards. Again, not right or wrong. You can have them inwards if you're trying to do like an ant farm sort of sim like XCOM or something like that, where you want to look inside the shape of an object and sort of invert it. But for this, we want all of our normals facing outwards. So anyway, have a go at that. If that doesn't make a lot of sense, then please, by all means as well, go through the cylindrical unwrap here and everything. But you should also have this file here, this FBX file. If you don't, then simply combine all of these objects here into one, press D and just move that down there. Again, that doesn't matter, that's just me being pedantic. But then simply just go export selection and make sure you have FBX down here, name it Sword FBX and click export. Uncheck animation, scroll down, and check embedded materials to make sure that's there, just so that materials will come with it. You might have to drag and drop a few extra materials over, and there is a tutorial on how to get this into Unreal as well. That is this one right here, Unreal Static Mesh props to there, and that will later go into how do we get the sword in this character's hand, but we'll leave that to a little bit later. In either case, yeah, have a go at that. I'm sorry that I'm not there to fix that and put this up properly. We will do a more professional video of that a little bit later. So thank you again and hope to see you soon.